Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Lino. First of all, a very happy new year to all of you. Let us start this year on a positive note. We all know that last year was not that great, especially the PR candidates who had applied for PR. Uh, there were absolutely no FSW draws, only PNP and CEC draws were happening. So it was a totally negative year for all the PR candidates. And many PR candidates even switched to study visa, and I would say that was a very wise move because rather than wasting their time, it is better to land in Canada, then you can easily process your visa. So let us hope that this year is going to be great for all of us. So if you are here for the first time, this channel is all about information on various topics which includes Canada migration and studies. After watching this video, you will have a thorough idea what are the things you need to take care while applying for study visa in Canada. And subsequently, I'll be making more videos detailing each section which I'm going to describe in this video. So all the detailed videos I'll be uploading later, which will be very helpful for you while applying for study visa in Canada. So stay tuned to my channel to get information on all the updates, especially immigration updates, including express entry draws, PNP draws, and various study visa and information topics on Canada migration. So let's now get into the information. So the first step here is you need to have IELTS or TOEFL results ready before you apply for admission in university or college. Some of the universities also accept Duolingo test results, which is an online test. However, they provide only a conditional offer letter, and upon submission of IELTS or TOEFL results, they provide the normal offer letter. So it's your call whether you go for a Duolingo test or IELTS or TOEFL. So let us go to the second step. Second step is see, there is no hard and fast rule that you have to follow this order. I'm just explaining you that you should cover all this for your study program. So choose university or program. This is the second step. So choosing university and program is the critical step. I mean, in the study because what will happen is when you submit all your documents to the study visa officer, there will be a question why you have chosen this program. So to convince the officer, you have to explain all the justifications. So first of all, you need to justify yourself why you are choosing this program. And I have seen people randomly choose some program and they get their visas rejected because they are not able to convince the visa officer properly, why they have chosen this program. So choose the program and university wisely. That is the second step. Now, step three is when you apply for the admission in university, you have to provide all the required documentation. So make sure you provide all the documents like 10th class certificates mark list, 12th class mark list, then bachelor's and masters, whatever you have, you should provide all the mark list and the degree certificates. And if you have experience, then you have to provide experience certificates. Then IELTS results. I'll be explaining all this in a separate video so that you don't miss any documentation. So this is just a brief to make you understand what is the steps required. So let us go to the next step. Yeah, once you submit all the documentation to the university, they will provide an offer letter. So this takes at least 1 week to 1 month. So some of the universities can provide you within a week. Some may provide 2 weeks. It may take up to 1 month. So that's the reason I'm giving a range of 1 week to 1 month. So once you get the offer letter, you can go for GIC certificate. This is step number 5. What is GIC certificate? When you apply for the study visa permit, you have to show to the government that you have an account in Canada wherein you have a deposit of 10,000 Canadian dollar in the account. So you can open an account with any of the Canadian bank. Those things I'll be explaining in a separate video. So once you open an account and deposit the minimum mentioned amount, then they will provide a GIC certificate to you, so which you need to provide as a document for the study visa permit. So this is to show them that you are covering the living cost in Canada. So next step is you have to pay the tuition fees. Once you get the offer letter from the university, you pay the tuition fees. So
Like, some universities will mention like you have to pay the 1 year tuition fees. So you have to pay that, I mean, completely. So once you pay the tuition fees, then you will get a letter of acceptance from the university or college. So uh, this is the final document you receive from the university. The step 8 is you should have the medical checkup done from a designated medical practitioner. So IISCC has provided the list of medical practitioners in your country. So you can go through that and you can choose any of the hospitals, in your area. And once you have the medical checkup done, they will provide a student identity form which you have to submit for the study visa permit. Now, step 9, make sure you gather all the documentations required, including proof of funds, SOP. SOP is basically statement of purpose, wherein you have to mention why you are choosing this program and why you are moving to Canada for these studies. So you have to explain them clearly to make them understand that you will not settle there in Canada, and you will once you finish your studies, you will come back and come back to your home country. So this needs to be explained clearly in SOP. So these things I'll be explaining separately, as I mentioned, in a separate video. So you just stay tuned to my channel to get all these updates. So I will also discuss what are the documentations you require, because what happens is if you miss any of the documentations, your visa can get rejected. So make sure you follow my channel and get all the information required to avoid the visa rejection. So now we'll go to step number 10. Yeah, step number 10 is you can go for upfront biometrics, or you can uh, also do it after study visa application. So it's your call, because in some countries like India, where getting the biometric appointment is a bit delay. I mean, you have to wait for some time. So what happens is some people go for upfront biometrics when you don't have time, proper time. Then once you do the upfront biometrics, you can apply for the study visa. So it's either way. So now the last step is apply for study visa. So once you apply for study visa, make sure that you have proper time, like say if you're going for a May intake, make sure that you apply at least 3 to 4 months before that. So because some of, like if it is a non-SGS stream, there are two streams like SGS stream and non-SGS streams. So these things I will explain separately. However, just to give a brief, if you are applying from India, you can go for SDS stream, which is student direct stream, where after you apply, you can get the visa, even within 2 weeks. I mean, so but however, there are cases, like where the visa is delayed also. So, however, make sure that you have some proper time, like 3 to 4 months, for the after you apply for the study visa. So that's all about this video.
I hope you like this video. Until next video, take care. Bye.